Hello, welcome. I'm Sue from Create with Sue, and today's tutorial we're going to be looking at creating vinyl designs for the top of something like a candle tin. It could be used for anything, but we're going to cover where to find the designs, how to resize or shrink the designs. These are the sort of things we're going to be making. I've used different types of vinyl and we'll look into how that's done and making the design fit your particular product. I've used candle tins in this instance and we've popped a design. It's a bit hard to see that one, it's very pretty, but it's a white design. And we'll also look at what didn't work. All right, so I'll see you in a moment over at our creating table. Okay, so we're in Creative Fabrica and it's pretty easy to move around. I'm in the freebies section at the moment. You'll find that here on the right. Scroll down, you'll see heaps of freebies. You don't need to have a subscription or anything for these ones. But what we're going to do is up in this top bar, we are going to search for Mandala SVG. So if you put SVG at the end, you will get SVG. In most cases, you'll get SVG designs. So there is quite a few. I've downloaded a couple already and had a look at them. So I've downloaded this one here to have a look at. And I've downloaded this one as well, and there was a few others. So what you need to look for, if you'll notice this one here, I'll just go into it, and you will see that these are quite solid lines, all of these. So they will make really great cutting lines if you want to shrink the design quite small. So with the candle tops or even around the sides, you may need to shrink the design or resize the design down fairly small. So look for some thicker designs, because if you pick something a little bit more like this, I think I actually had downloaded this one, it's really cute, and that might be okay, this one, but just keep in mind that some of these, if they are very fine, so this one here is quite fine, this one here, they all may shrink down, but just be aware that that's something to look for. And there are heaps and heaps. We'll just load some more. This is a fun section, the mandalas and the Zentangles. Great, great fun. And if you would like, I can actually do a tutorial on creating layered designs from these designs. I've actually got one similar to this one in my library, resource library. All right, well, that's one way. So you could also type whatever you want in here for SVG. So I've got mandala, but anything that you're looking for, just type in there and you will see it. So we'll go over to the ones I have downloaded. Okay, so this is the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace, and you can bring your design in by importing from your computer from this little SVG icon here, or you can open from the Explorer folder as well. We'll do it through the SVG icon today. So this here, I have these associated with Affinity Designer. And if you hover over, you'll see that one is a DXF file. I never have any success with those in here. This one here will be a PNG, and this one here will be an SVG. So these originally downloaded in a zipped format, so you'd need to unzip them. Just ask me if you'd like some help with that. I have got a tutorial on unzipping if you need that, but we won't go over that today. So all you can do is just click on that and go open, and you'll bring the design in. Just might have a look for the other one that's got lots. That was this one, I think. And once again, you'll see DXF, PNG on here on the right, and SVG. To solve the problem of all the designs will land there, to solve that problem, you can just move this out the way. These have come in a bit big. My little tins for the candles, 60 millimeters was as big as it will support. Over to edit. Here we're in the edit, which is the second one down. You will see that they're 135 millimeters. I can change that to inches for you if you prefer, but we'll just go with, so 60 for one of my tins is the max. So if we type in 58 millimeters and press enter, you'll see I've got maintain aspect ratio on. So I don't need to change both of them. Just press the enter key. And that's a little bit bigger on that side, so we can check whether that will fit or not. And you can see it's down to the right size. To create a template, if you're, I mean, this one's pretty easy, you probably don't need a template. To create a template, all we're going to do is place a circle, because these are circular tins. If it was square, you could create a square one. And once again, we'll just put 60 millimeters is what our maximum is. And we will go down here and go center align and middle align. And zoom in. That's pretty much how it's going to look on top of the tin. This is the layers panel. You can see the 4 shapes I've brought in and our guide or our template. We can lock that as well if we want to. In here on the right, toggle the lock and it won't move. So if we click on that, it won't move. I'll just change the, see, it's only going to let you click on the design, which means you can move your shapes in and out of this if you wish, just like that. And bring another shape in to check it. My testing indicated that the 58 millimeters was fine. To flick it to inches, you just go into the artboard, down here at the ruler, and you're in inches. Go up and check it, and it's 2.28 inches or 2.31. So it must be a little bit not quite square, this design. You could square it up if you wanted to. Same deal. I'm going to flick it back to millimeters because I measured it in millimeters, so it works for me. 58 millimeters. And press enter, and there you've got your second one. And I can see that's going to fit. Don't love these two. I don't like that one, so I'm going to delete that one. I don't like that one. And I'm not a big fan of that one either. So we'll have a look what other ones we have. Now, I haven't, if you're doing a tin and you're doing it on a lid, you could probably use regular vinyl or HTV. So keep in mind that a candle gets the tin hot. The lid, it won't matter too much with, because it comes off when the candle is burning. So there's a few designs we can cut out. You could also do a frame type design for around there and put an initial in the middle of it, or you could just put lettering if you wanted to just write a name or a brand name on the top. All right, we'll send these to the machine. Go up to File and Export, and off we go. And I'll see you at the machine in a moment. So I'm going to use these 3 HTV or heat transfer vinyls. So this one here is by Cricut. It's a Cricut one. It's a foil iron-on. So I'm going to give that a go because it's a nice gold colour. And then this one here is a beautiful white sparkly colour. Just get it out of the box. This is by HTV Ron. I don't know if you see it at the camera, but it's really pretty. And this one here, HTV Ron actually sent me. It's a gorgeous purple colour. And I think this will look just beautiful. So cute. And HTV Ron actually sent me this one. This one I sometimes use for sublimation, to sublimate on as well. And I haven't tried this one, so we'll see how this one goes. The HTV was curling up. It's quite sturdy, the HTV Ron HTV, so I've actually taped it to death on my mat with blue painter's tape just to keep it in place. I'm going to go and retrieve the data through the pocket, and there's the designs. Now I'm going to cut some of these out with the foil. Now I noticed this has come over, and I didn't think it would because it was locked. But we'll just go into Edit and Delete. and okay, because we don't want to cut that out. And I might just duplicate a couple. So this one here is really nice. I might duplicate that. Just go in here. So all I've done is I'll just go okay for a minute. Go into Object Edit. And then we'll go into this little plus sign up the top. And we want 2 of them. We'll go okay. And there's the second one there. Now I haven't put the gold foil on here yet. So we will just cut these ones out for the moment. We'll just do a scan. So we'll cut this 6 out and then we'll go and do a couple in the foil as well. If your HTV is very curly, you can roll it the other way and that will stop some of the problems. The other thing we need to do normally, I'm not going to worry about it with these ones, but mirror. So if you've got any wording or anything that's not symmetrical and it looks different a different way to the other, you need to mirror for HTV, but I'm not actually going to worry too much about that today. And we'll just change this background so I see if I can see the white a little bit better. Oh, it's a little bit better. See, I can't see the dark colour as well, but now I can see the white. So just flick it around to what suits you best. If you need to, you can go and zoom in. I might zoom in and just double check it and go edit and zoom. I'll just zoom in and double check. That should be right. Remember, well, it doesn't matter for these ones because they're very symmetrical patterns, but you may need to reverse or mirror your designs. If you have loaded your patterns onto your machine and you have forgotten to mirror, you can use the flip here. We'll flip them for you. It's not going to make any difference for these ones. So. Okay, let's go. Select cut and need to turn the half cut on. So this icon here, the little spanner, and we'll scroll down one and half cut on. So for vinyl, HTV and regular vinyl, you'll need the half cut on. If you need to change the pressure, you can change it there. Do a test cut. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so I've just tested that this is going to lift off okay. Before you move your mat or unload your mat, that way you can run it through again if it's not cut through properly, but that looks okay. And I think the fact this one is okay, the white one will also be okay because it is the same thickness. This foil is quite a bit thinner. So had I cut it with these two, the risk was that it would cut straight through the carrier sheet. I've checked this carrier sheet and it is actually a carrier sheet under here. All you do is you sort of pull away the corner, just a corner, and you can see there is a carrier sheet on there. It's a very thin one, very fine, but then it's foil. It's saying it's foil. So it'll be a good experiment to see how this cuts. All right, so I'm going to unload my mat now. I like the blue tape because it especially using big pieces, it comes off very easily, doesn't leave any residue, or doesn't appear to leave any residue. It's reusable, so I can reuse it for more projects. And if you use big enough pieces, it doesn't come off and get stuck in your machine. I use blue because if it does come off in the machine, it's very easy to find. Whereas if you use white or use sticky tape, not a good outcome. Sticky tape, just ask me. Sticky tape takes you a long time to find. So I've got a weeding tool, and also the pin pen will be very handy for this particular project. And just pull back. HTV is really easy to weed. I love HTV, working with HTV vinyl. It comes away fairly well. Just need to watch some of those dots just in case they lift, but they're going pretty good at the moment. So all of the inside lines need to be weeded out of this. So you just need to make sure you are weeding the bits you need to weed. If you've got a picture up too of what you're weeding, sometimes that helps. If you can't really remember what the design looked like. I normally like to weed it flat, but a bit harder for you to see what I'm doing when I weed it flat. Just ease it away so you're only weeding the bits that you want weeded. And of course, some of these designs would reverse weed. So you could actually weed the bits that are meant to stay, because I'll show you this piece in a minute when I've weeded it out. As you can see, I'm a fingers girl. But see, this piece here is just as pretty, isn't it? How pretty is that? That is the bit we're throwing away, would you believe? Ah, how beautiful is that going to be? Oh my goodness, you could put this on anything. You could make this any size you wanted and put it on anything you wanted. And you see how easy this weeds? I haven't even got my weeding tool out. And I will need the weeding tool for these bits because these out. I'll speed some of this up and cut some of it out, I think. So this is the gold foil from Cricut. I've entered the same pattern that we used for the white glitter, so the same 3 designs, which are here. Oh, they look pretty. They're so pretty. Look at this one. I love this one. This one is absolutely gorgeous. Just perfect. I did have a problem with the one I thought I was going to have a problem with. That was this one here. Now you probably can't see it, but the little dots did not make it. All the little dots around here, they were too small. So while this is a beautiful design, it will not shrink this small. So you cannot resize it down. It's quite this small. And it took probably 3 times longer, maybe even 4 times longer than those other patterns to weed. So this is weeding quite nicely so far, so that's good. So these have turned out really pretty as well. We'll see what they press like. Is that one? That one, I'm just checking to make sure I haven't missed any bits, which is very easy to do. And you also want to make sure you've got no straggly bits left on the carrier sheet because they will press down as well. Okay, so we've got the mat set up here for, this is a heat press mat, and I have my HTV Ront mini press. And I've just got it set on 1 because I'm not sure what temperature for this tin. So the 1 should be okay. I've got a lint-proof or lint-free rag. And what I'm going to do is just clean these with isopropyl alcohol so that it gets a better stick. We'll give them a quick wipe. Now, I probably could have left these lids on the jars, on the little tins, but I'm going to see how they go like this instead. Try a gold one on the black, and already I can see a problem. I have a little piece missing there. I've weeded an extra piece. That's annoying, isn't it? Well, I can't find it, so I'm going to bail on that one. It's a nuisance, isn't it? We'll give this one a go. Check there's no pieces missing or extra. They're the 2 things we need to check. Line it up in the middle, and this is my worst bit, is trying to get everything centered. So I've got carrier sheet on all of that. Otherwise I'd get a piece of baking paper, parchment paper, or my Teflon mat. And I might get the Teflon mat out in a minute to re-press that. I'm going to give it a quick press more with the baking paper on it. I'm not going to touch it yet for a minute though, because it'll be hot. Let me just scoot it out my way a little bit and we'll go again. That's them with the back on their bases. What do you think? I like this one the best. This is my favourite. And this one's not quite cool to peel. So we'll do that. We'll do that off camera. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I will catch you again with my next one. Enjoy crafting. See you soon. Bye.